Hello, this is Debbie McAllister, and this is Light Up Your Word. I am so excited to bring you today's guest. Dua Aly is a rapid transformational therapy practitioner. She is the founder of Liberate You. She is on a mission to help people free themselves from the limiting beliefs holding them back and preventing them from living the life they've always wanted. Besides being a rapid transformational therapy practitioner, she's also a certified ESL teacher in Canada and a federally accredited interpreter in the Translation Bureau of Canada. She takes the most pride in being a mom of 4 wonderful children. Welcome.
Hi.
So interested in learning more about rapid transformational therapy. It's a newer modality I'm not familiar with. I'm excited to learn more and have you share about how that helps us with our limiting beliefs.
Rapid Transformational Therapy is a hybrid modern award-winning therapy. It is a combination of traditional hypnotherapy, talk therapy, CBT, NLP, neuroscience, and other types of therapy. And it helps people free themselves from limiting beliefs that is holding them back and have the life they always wanted and get rid of habits or negative beliefs about themselves or life.
That's fascinating. It has roots in different types of therapy.
Yes, it changed my life on a deep level, and it's gratifying to see how it changes the lives of every single client I worked with.
How did you find how did you find the rapid transformational therapy?
It started when I was going through a tough time,
Mhm.
and I started to rediscover myself. I felt lost and overwhelmed. All I did was I went home and spent all the evening crying. Went back from work every night, every evening, and cried. I started to read and follow psychologists, hypnotherapists, spiritual teachers, neuroscientists, people like Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, and Marissa Peer, creator of the RTT method.
Mhm.
After a year of doing all that work on myself, a friend of mine told me, you know what, you know a lot about mental health. You should be like Marissa Peer. We attract things we need at the right time. I was browsing my Instagram and I came across that video where Marissa Peer was inviting people to join the Rapid Transformational Therapy course, become certified, and work as RTT practitioners. I thought that's for me. I want to help others be in a better place. I didn't think twice. Pressed the link, filled the application. They called me in a couple of days, had a phone interview for about an hour. And they said, we really want you to join the program. You have high communication skills and you're passionate. We welcome you aboard. After I joined the course, I thought I was healed before joining the course. But then after joining the course, I thought, no, wait a minute, there's a lot of work that should be done here. I'm not even halfway healed. It's healing is a lifelong journey. Limiting beliefs are never, you never get to a point where you say, oh, I'm completely free of limiting beliefs. And you always discover something new about yourself.
Mhm. I completely agree. I think we can do a certain amount of healing if we're put in different circumstances or trying something new. It gives us the opportunity to have different limiting beliefs come up and to be healed.
That's true. Every stage of our lives we come across different limiting beliefs.
Mhm. You were talking about some of my heroes, Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, with their epigenetics and how we create many beliefs. What is it? 95% of our conscious beliefs. There's another 70 to 80,000 beliefs that are underneath everything we're doing. And we pick up much of that before age 7.
That's true.
I find the science behind what we do and the work and all of the healing that can occur when we understand that this is all science-based versus what somebody might used to think of woo, or I call it the healing arts. It's all science-based on how we can help ourselves, why people get stuck in patterns.
That's true.
So I know we had talked prior, and to really have people understand how powerful the whole rapid transformational therapy is, to have you show us and have the audience experience how powerful this modality can be to help somebody move their life forward. If you'd like, what I'd like us to do is to prepare for the meditation practice and have you walk us through that.
How the session goes is I put them in a state of deep relaxation.
Mhm.
I do this by asking them, let me take off my glasses to show that. I do this by asking them to roll up their eyes and look at a fixed spot on the ceiling, or as if they're looking into their own eyebrows, and take a deep breath in and out, and then another deep breath in. If you notice, my eyelashes are blinking now. So
Mhm.
this means I'm getting into hypnosis. One more time. And then the last time, as they exhale, I ask them to drop their eyelids down, all the way down, while they keep their eyeballs up. And the reason I ask them to do this is that, or the reason we do it this way, is there is something about rolling our eyes up that make us get into the alpha state.
Mhm.
And this is important because between the age of 0 and 7, our brains produce different types of waves. There is beta, alpha, theta, delta. Alpha is the state our minds produce between 0 and 7. After that, it starts to produce different waves. We put the client in that state because their minds become more open to suggestions. Research proved that we are more open to suggestions in the alpha and theta state than
Mhm.
in the beta state, which is conscious, not subconscious. This is the way we can reprogram, or the easiest way we can reprogram our subconscious mind and get rid of those limiting beliefs or negative beliefs that we formed about ourselves and about life when we were children, and install new healthy beliefs that serve us now, because the subconscious mind doesn't work with time. It doesn't realize past, present, and future, unlike our conscious. So when a negative experience happens to us when we were children, your mind reacts as if it is happening now. It is still happening. So, what we want to do through hypnosis is to update the subconscious mind that, hey, you're not there anymore. You're not 7. You don't need that negative habit or extra weight because you want to look big or you want to look powerful. You don't need to punish yourself by having money blocks because you made a mistake when you were a child. This is what we do during hypnosis. What happens during the session after I put the client into that alpha state? I ask them to imagine that I am taking them down like a flight of upstairs of 10 steps. Every time that I do this, they go deeper. After that, I regress them back to at least 3 scenes from their past that was the root cause of the issue. Whatever this issue is, I work with clients with different issues and different problems, a wide variety of issues. Like I worked with clients who suffered money blocks, relationship issues, weight loss, hair growth, procrastination, like a lot of issues. It doesn't matter what issue they suffer from. I dig deep in order to find the root cause of that issue. We look at the event and we interpret it together, and I try to help them realize that you don't need that anymore. Look at that belief. This is the belief that you formed, or what kind of belief. I also help the client. I guide them. I don't I don't come up with the conclusion themselves. And we reframe it and say, okay, you don't need that anymore. Let's install a new belief now that serves you now at this stage of your life. So that's in brief how it goes.
Yeah, that's powerful. You use the example of clean your plate that many of us have heard. I don't know if it's the decade I'm in that I've heard it so much, or that I had very humble beginnings, that that was something common. You don't want it, you don't waste food, eat it all, hungry or not hungry. We're not throwing it away. I really love that example. The other thing that really stuck with me was that when people find themselves in procrastination, I find that fascinating that this work, the rapid transformational therapy, helps with procrastination.
I had great results with procrastination. I had a client who suffered for a very long time trying to declutter her place because she wanted to downsize and sell her house. She kept procrastinating and hoarding things for years. The subconscious mind is fascinating. And it was all about, she was trying to, like, she was hoarding all those things because there's some kind of emotional void that she was suffering from. And that's why she was hoarding all those things. And she felt she didn't want to get rid of them, or she was suffering a problem or having procrastination issues to declutter because she feels the pressure and she feels like she's not worthy. She's not worthy of having success or being in a better place. Because there are a lot of issues. The root cause or the cause of most of the issues that we have are one of three things, one of three beliefs. If I'm different, I cannot connect, or it's not available. I want it, but it's not available to me, or I'm not enough. And I'm not enough can come as different things. I'm not worthy, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not a good person. It can
Mm.
be expressed in several different ways. And I'm not enough is one of the biggest, or the most widespread belief for most people.
Mm-hmm. I have found that my podcast is Light Up Your Worth. There's a lot of feelings of worthiness, whether you have to earn worth or you have to be good enough or perfect enough, or somehow picked up so much of this stuff about growing up, how you get love or attention or achievement. I love that you've connected all of that into those three beliefs, and how something is, which might seem on the outside kind of simple, of decluttering, the procrastination for decluttering a certain area of your life, and then it ends up getting down to a deeper issue. And I think that's powerful for people to realize that if there's something that they've been trying to do and yet they're stopping themselves, that self-sabotage,
Yes.
that it has a deeper issue for us to look at. And
It's fascinating how our subconscious mind connects things to either punish us, protect us, or get attention from others. So sometimes the subconscious mind can just come up with an illness because we connected being ill as children with gaining attention. It just comes up with that illness because this is the way we get attention. So
wow.
yes, it's fascinating how our subconscious mind works.
hmm I'm so grateful you're sharing this information about another way to help ourselves. If you're ready, I think I'd love for us to be able to have you walk us through that process that you started, that you were sharing with our eyes. I'm going to be participating as well for the listeners who are here. I'm going to go through the process just along with you and experience this powerful work.
After I put you in hypnosis and take you downstairs, I want you also to, I will do with you a simple test. I want you to extend your arms and imagine you have powerful magnets in each palm. When I count you down, those magnets are going to attract together. Once I do this, your hands will fall down onto your lap and you will even go into a deeper state of relaxation. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so let us start. Debbie, I want you to look up as high as you can. Keep your eyes fixed on a real or imagined spot overhead. Breathe in and breathe out. Take another deep breath. Breathe in and out. And every time you blink, that is hypnosis coming upon you. And one final time, breathe in And as you exhale, drop your eyelids down, all the way down. As your eyelids shut down, the muscles and nerves in and around your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy, drowsy. Your eyes are glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. And the harder you try to open your eyes, the more you feel them glued shut, sealed shut, fused together. And I want you to drop your chin just a little bit so that you would have that looking down sensation you get when you look over a balcony or down a flight of stairs. And as I count you down, you will go down those stairs and you will go deeper and deeper with every step you take. Now you're taking step 10 as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 9, and every noise and sound and movement around you takes you deeper, and you sink deeper. You're taking step 8, and you can see your feet moving on each step as you go deeper. You're moving on to step 7. With each heartbeat, you drop deeper, sink deeper, go deeper. You're taking step 6, and you can feel your feet touching each step as you go deeper. You're taking step 5. You're halfway the stairs now. Drop deeper, float deeper, sink deeper. You're moving on to step 4, and you can hear your feet moving on each step as you go deeper and deeper. You're moving on to step 3, going deeper into more awareness of yourself. You're moving on to step 2, going deeper into your own internal state. You're moving on to step 1. Now you are at the bottom of the stairs and you go even 150 times deeper and deeper. And every time I click my fingers and say the words go deeper, you just go deeper, drop deeper, sink deeper. Your eyes are glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. And now I want you to extend your arms like so your palms are facing each other. And I want you to imagine that in each palm, you have the strongest magnet. And as I count you from 5 to 1, your arms will pull toward each other. And once your fingers touch, your hands will drop to your lap and you will become even more relaxed. On the count of 1, your hands are feeling the pull, the current of the magnet. 2, your hands are drawing together, pulling together, attracting together. You can't resist the current, the pull of the magnet. And the more you try to resist the magnet, the more it pulls your hands stronger and stronger. And the pull of your hands are becoming stronger and stronger. Your hands are moving closer and your fingers touch. And now your hands fall down to your lap and you fall into a deeper state of relaxation. Your eyes are sealed shut, glued shut, sealed together. Just sleep deeply. And of course, you are not going to sleep. Sleep is simply a sleep of the nervous system. You are going deeper, drifting deeper, sinking deeper. So just go deeper and even deeper still. So as you go deeper into an absolutely relaxed state, as you go deeper into an awareness of yourself, I want you, Debbie, again, to hold that perfect, beautiful baby in your arms. a baby that was you, a newborn baby that came into the world expecting to be loved, expecting love to be available. And it is available. Every day, as you look into the mirror, you give yourself the statement of truth, your statement of truth. I am enough. I am worthy. You say it every morning. You say it every night. You say it in the shower. You think it when you brush your teeth. You write it in so many places, on your mirror, on your laptop screen, on your phone screen, and every day you know you are enough. Every day you feel that you are enough. Every day you become the loving parent to yourself, and every day you tell that young being you are smart enough, you are gorgeous enough, beautiful enough, you are intelligent enough, you matter, you belong, you are meant to be here, and you have a place in this world. You are meant to be on the planet. You have always been enough. You always will be enough. And as you let that inner child in you know that you are enough, you know it, you resonate it, and everyone around you know it. You are not your past. You are not your childhood. You are not your childhood wounds. You are not your body. You are certainly that expression, that talking, walking expression of this statement of truth. You have an unshakable, unwavering conviction that you are enough. It's not what you do, it is who you are. It is an integral, fundamental, effortless, permanent, powerful part of who you are. And my voice goes with you. You are enough. So knowing it, feeling it, believing it, when you are absolutely ready to accept that statement of truth, to let it in, to let it sink in, to make yourself a living, breathing, walking, talking expression of this statement of truth. When you are ready to accept that, you can slowly, calmly, easily, effortlessly return to your full awareness. Just open up your eyes, fill up your lungs, take a long, deep breath. If you ever listen to my voice, you can drift into dreams if you're listening before you sleep. If you're listening any time of the day, you will just ignore my counting you forward to full awareness. On the count of 1, you're becoming more aware of your surroundings. On the count of 2 and 3, you're becoming aware of your body, feeling your fingers and toes. And in the count of 4 and 5, take a deep breath, open your eyes, feeling refreshed, feeling good about yourself. How was that?
Wow. I feel really calm. Like I could hear your voice, like you were right here with me. I felt safe. When you would say go deeper, I could feel like another wave, like when you're drifting off to sleep, when you're fighting almost to stay awake, feeling. No, I wasn't fighting anything. This calm of down and saving the words you were saying, it deeply resonated. I remember hearing that you're worthy, but it must be my subconscious hearing it. Your voice was very soothing and calm, and it was easy to stay there and be more and more relaxed.
Thank you. Yes, that's what happens with our subconscious to a recording or of hypnosis, or when you are when you're having a session, going deeper, you don't remember all the details. Sometimes you remember something, sometimes you don't, but it doesn't matter. We work on a subconscious level, not a conscious level. One more thing I do with my clients is create a personalized recording for every client after the session. It's not so rapid transformational therapy practitioners are trained to create personalized recordings for every single client. We don't create generic recordings and give it to just like any client or to all clients. Every client is a different case, and every client shows different scenes and has different reasons for the issue. So after this session, I create a personalized recording, and then I ask them to listen to the recording before they go to bed or in the morning for at least 21 days, sometimes more than that. It depends on the client and the issue. Some of the questions that I get is a comment like that you just came up with now, is that I don't remember everything said in the recording, or I drift to sleep. I listen to the first 5 or 7 minutes and then I drift to sleep. I'm worried. Is it working? I always tell them, yes, your conscious mind sleeps, but your subconscious mind doesn't. Your subconscious mind is listening and it's still doing the work for you. So don't worry about it. The transformation is being done. The change is being done. So don't worry. So that's something I do after the sessions. There's work to be done after. There's also follow-up besides the recording given to the client and being listened to for 21 days. I also have 2 follow-up sessions after the main session, which takes 90 to 120 minutes. Then I have a follow-up call 10 days after the main session, and another follow-up call or session after 21 days to check progress. I meet with the client, have a call, check how's the progress, where they are in their progress, and see if they need more support, if they need recommendations, for example, if they sometimes I support them by recommending some books to read or some YouTube channels or teachers to follow or psychologists. Every client is different.
I like the outline of that. Like, it sounds extremely supportive in a structured way of being able to see that integration of the work into the subconscious, and very prescribed 21 days for it to rejuvenate those neural pathways.
Exactly.
If they have a couple things they want to work on, then say the procrastination and then maybe it's weight loss, they start down a process with focusing the first round on, say it's the procrastination example, and then they go through that whole structured place. Once they get to the end of that process, then they can have another session to work on weight loss or fatigue.
It depends. Let's say I had a session with a client on procrastination. Some issues can be resolved in one session. Other issues are deeper and they need up to between 3 to 6 sessions to be resolved. So for procrastination, for example, let's say I progress the client and during the session for procrastination, and then it showed during the session that the root cause is they believe they're not enough. Then in the next session or the second session they have with me, I'm not going to regress for procrastination again. I'm going to regress to the root cause, which is I'm not enough. Let's see why you believe you're not enough or worthy. It depends on what shows in the session or scene. If the root cause is a certain thing, then, and sometimes I regress for the same thing as well. Let's see why your mind is holding on to procrastination or excess weight. It depends, case by case.
Yeah, that's fascinating. What I like about that is if you're going to do something deeply rooted, say money isn't just our experiences. We're what we have observed with our parents, our grandparents, or our great grandparents. Those money stories get carried on and they're so deeply entwined with how we show up with money. And so I could see where a first session you could go in and you come to one root cause and then another root cause. Many grew up with poverty or come from families with poverty, or working class poor, or like just the sheer numbers of how many people have wealth right now versus who doesn't. And if that's more than one decade, or maybe you've done okay with money, but yet you come from this background, and so it's stopping you from maybe self-sabotaging and with the resources you have generated
That's
for yourself, why you can't hold on to it. Maybe you can get it to come in, but you can't keep it.
That's absolutely true. And money is one of the things that our relationship with it is complicated because it also has to do with generational trauma related to money. I remember that one of the books that I read when I started my healing journey was It Didn't Start With You by
Mhm.
Mark Wallen. He was telling stories of clients he worked with, and he was talking about how latest psychological research proved that the emotional impact of the trauma can be passed on from one generation to another up to 4 generations. We can suffer the impact of an emotional trauma that our great grandparents went through. We never went through it, but our great grandparents went through it, but we still carry the emotional impact of that trauma from one generation to another. Our relationship with money, romantic relationships, and big weight loss, our relationship with food can be complicated and need more than 3 sessions to reprogram our mind into positive beliefs and positive emotions toward that issue, whether it be money, relationships, or food.
I've done a lot of work on generational healing because I've noticed certain fears or phobias of something that was continually happening and showing itself in patterns as I've continued to be on my healing journey. And because life keeps happening too, right? Like new experiences. I really believe in the whole generational healing, and there's so much science behind like what has happened. We look back at 4 generations. I'm in my mid 50s. If I go back 4 generations, that's the beginning of the century. Women were treated differently. And depending on where people are located in the world, all of the traumas that happened, we've had multiple world wars across the world. We've had Holocaust, we've had people trying to wipe out whole cultures, extreme poverty and violence. I believe it stays with us and that we also inherit it. I could see where something like weight loss of cleaning your plate came from when people started to have more. They're carrying from when they were young, when there was no food, a famine. So you want to hang on to what you have.
Exactly. Yes, that's true. The thing is, as human beings, we live in civilized societies, but our mind is still a caveman's mind. We still have that emotions around food, that there is scarcity of food, or there might be scarcity of food, so I better eat and have fat so that it's stored in my body, so that if something happens, or if it's when winter comes, it's complicated for women as well. It's more complicated because of the standards of beauty that society imposes on us women, on how to be beautiful, or what is beauty, and like what shape you should have to be beautiful. Some clients believe that because they're overweight, they're ugly, they're not beautiful. I was just talking to one of them yesterday, and she said that, look at me, how much fat I compiled, how overweight I am now. I look ugly. I said, no, you're not ugly. There's no connection between how beautiful you are and the number on the scale. You are beautiful. You have to believe this about yourself, and you have to see yourself beautiful regardless of your weight. It's really complicated, and the pressure that is put on us, the mixed messages that we get from the media about the standards of beauty, then at the same time, like those advertisements about food and how enticing they look, and like fast food, and we want to eat more. So it's
It's a
just, yeah, so it's difficult. The mind cannot hold conflicting beliefs in general because they cancel each other. So you tell me I have to be thin to be beautiful or to look beautiful, but you're also tempting me to eat more food with those advertisements. So what should I do?
I have struggled with my weight after a certain age. As a child, I was thin, super active. In my mid-20s, I started to carry extra. It's been a journey where I'm thinner, where I've carried more weight. And the interesting thing is, as my dad would say, I'm more fluffy right now. But I feel the most beautiful I've ever felt now.
That's great. That's great.
Though there's late weight I would like to release that I will release, but I've realized it's more complicated than just eat less because I've tried that. That hasn't been the solution either.
I really like how you said a way to release.
Mm.
This is a positive message to send to your subconscious mind because your mind responds to the words you say and the pictures you create. When you say weight loss, you're sending a negative message to your mind because your mind would say, wait a minute, weight loss? No, we don't want to lose anything. We got to gain that weight back.
I don't want to find it because I have found it
But
before.
lost, we got to
Lost and then
find that.
spent. I had somebody on the podcast, one of my coaches named Amy, who brought it to my attention about the release versus loss, like how important those words were for me to think about.
Exactly. You have a dialogue with your mind all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that expression, this person is in his mind. We are all in our minds, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We talk to ourselves, a nonstop inner dialogue, chatter with ourselves
Mm-hmm.
more than we talk to anybody else.
Yeah. What's so interesting you say that because if I keep using your analogy of clean your plate, you get dessert if you clean your plate. By the time you got dessert, that means you were good. So you have these thoughts about being good or bad, cleaning your plate. If I clean my plate, I'm good. If I'm good, I get a treat associated with food. Even something that simple is complex in how my mind is going to attach dessert or being good versus what's on my plate.
Yes, that's true. And being good is associated with sweets
Mm-hmm.
and sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how the belief was formed. But it's not impossible to change.
I have heard that there's the three biggest addictions was that the first one was heroin, which I've never tried, but sugar. The third one was safety, like having a job. I think about the work that you're doing and I think about the sugar. If anybody's ever tried to give up sugar, like it's it really takes focused energy because it has a deeper association. It's not simply willpower. All these associations with sugar in our body, in our
Yeah.
mhm,
This reminds me of when was the first time I decided to completely stop consuming sugar?
mhm,
That was like 4 or 5 years ago when I came across a video on Facebook of that TV presenter who was hosting an author. He was a biochemist. I can't remember his name, but the book was Why We Get Sick or
mhm,
why we become ill.
mhm.
And she was asking him, what is one advice that you can give all the audience that if they follow, their life will be better or they will be healthier? And he said, stop consuming sugar. And she said, like, how? Not even candies for children or fruit? He said, fruit is okay. You can eat one piece of fruit, but no more than that. But he started to explain what happens in our body when we consume sugar. He said 1 teaspoon of sugar that you add to your cup of tea can reduce your immunity 50%. And then you go out and you catch cold. And then you say, oh, I caught a cold. No, you made yourself sick by consuming sugar. That day, I decided, no, I'm not consuming sugar anymore. However, I know if I stop consuming sugar right away, my mind is going to work against me, not with me. I know it takes 21 days to form a habit. So what I did is that I befriended my mind. I said, okay, I add 1 teaspoon of sugar to my tea, I'm going to reduce that to half for 21 days, and then to quarter for another 21 days. And then I'm going to replace that with honey. And then I did the same with honey for 21 days and I stopped completely. Now I drink my coffee and tea with no sugar at all, 0 sugar. Yeah, you don't want your subconscious to work against you. Our minds perceive change as danger. So whatever change you want, take it step by step. Be really slow. You have your whole life to stop consuming sugar. You don't have to stop in 1 week.
That's practical advice for everybody to realize, like, why when you try to make so much change all at once and you put all this pressure on, it's not allowing your body to catch up with letting go of a habit. How can people find you if they're fascinated to learn more about rapid transformational therapy and work with you?
They can reach me through my website, liberatedhypno.com, or they can reach me on Facebook, the same name, Liberated You Hypno, and on Instagram, Liberated You Hypnosis, and Liberated You _ hypnosis. And I also have a LinkedIn page, so they can also follow me or contact me there.
Oh, that's wonderful. I can't wait to have somebody reach out to you and really start working. It's powerful, life-changing to change habits and beliefs we don't even know we have. Thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure to learn more about you and this powerful way to heal ourselves. Thank you.
You're most welcome. My pleasure.